Recording.
Okay, let's call our September 11 Finance Advisory Audit Committee meeting to order. Let's see, roll call.
Okay. Chair Long Chu,
Here,
Vice Chair Elise Ryan. Here. Committee Member Cheryl Miller. Here. Committee Member Regina Sanders. Here. President Town Manager Mark Cutley.
Here.
Bill Underwood, Manager, Partner of Underwood Management Services Group.
Okay.
And Denise Rodriguez, Town Office Coordinator.
and then we have in the audience, the interview.
Me.
Okay. Do we have the motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Cheryl, second.
I second.
And Virginia. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Consent agenda, minutes for June 25th. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Motion by Elise, do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Virginia. Discussion.
I just have one, and I don't know if it's a mistake, but it doesn't logically tie. On page 2 of 5 of the minutes, and I guess it's agenda at page 5. I may have, yeah, okay. Cheryl Miller, it says, Member Miller moved to approve the Wells Fargo negotiation contract after the town council reviews it. It wasn't a contract that we approved,
No,
it was an
the
RFP.
selection.
Can we, that should say RFP, right?
Yeah, because there was no negotiation.
There was no contract,
No.
you know, and I just.
We do
thought-
have a contract, we just have.
Right, there was no contract, so that's the only,
We should read as,
But their proposal, I guess.
the Wells Fargo proposal, that would be the one.
recommend the proposal.
Mhm.
So where it says, proposal Wells Fargo.
Just put proposal.
proposal.
Any other page?
Good
Okay.
catch.
I do have a question on under 5A, second paragraph, that we were asking town attorney to draft a letter to Mr. Spence. What is the status of that?
Oh, okay, wait a minute.
I think it is,
I thought it died.
yeah, I thought it
I
does.
thought somebody killed it.
We did kill it.
We kill it?
Yeah, this was,
We kill it?
no, we killed it in this meeting, because if you read my motion down here,
Oh, okay.
okay, it wasn't sent, moved that it would not be sent,
Oh, okay.
okay.
So did not cover.
Well, we all agreed, we had a discussion.
I can say that, always want to hold someone accountable.
Well, yeah, but there wasn't anything to hold him accountable
Okay.
for, I mean, you know, it was,
I have one,
because he never got paid for it, the work, so.
on page 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraph, always colonial disease, when you get a resident call and in the morning to congratulate staff on his performance. I think it's about time for us to send out another newsletter to recap something that the time that accomplished.
And I think the website is like that.
Is it, I did,
Mhm.
and I sent you the thing about the comment.
Yes.
You got that?
Yeah,
Is
we
that
took care of that.
fixed? You
I
took care
think
of
that's
it? Okay.
finished.
It was great, I thought.
Oh, yes, and I like the red border across the top announcing meetings. I did have a problem trying, I had my copy, but I needed to go back on site to download the FAAC just to check something. And on the new website, there was some script errors, so I went back to the old website and it opened as a PDF. So I don't know if it's my computer, I'm on Internet Explorer, you know, older system, but I did have an error.
Oh, you know what I did find out, though? The reason we weren't working Saturday, most of the state was not, well, most of the country was not working. Everybody that has their domain registered with GoDaddy.
You have GoDaddy?
Yeah, go back. It was
We're
working.
registered with GoDaddy.gov.
My sister's their account rep for Cisco.
Anyhow, GoDaddy has been hit beginning like Saturday.
They've been
And all the
clogged.
domain names across the country and world.
I thought we were going with Microsoft.
What a mail is, you have to register your name.
The domain name.
FL.gov is registered, and it's registered through two places, the federal government, so if anybody tampers with it, we get thrown in jail. And two, GoDaddy maintains the pointer. I guess that's the way to explain it. They are the air traffic controller, so anybody looking for Los Angeles, Florida Gov, it goes through them.
I use register.com. They were one of the early ones that came out. They're not a big high flying, you know. But if you don't need, you know, work on it, you've got somebody else to work on your website. They're never down. I mean, just very reliable.
I think GoDaddy was shocked.
Well, GoDaddy's grown real fast.
It was a hacker that got in.
What they get. I mean, there's no way to stop something from being hacked. There's no way to make it foolproof. That's what Alexandra said. She said China has got a university of people that are being trained to hack. And they're hacking into
And they do a
everything.
wonderful job.
And they know, and that's their full-time job. I mean, they know how to get, they can get
What was the
into
big,
anything.
was it Gmail? One of them, that's.
So Gmail got hit.
Yeah.
Google got hit, Gmail got hit.
Hotmail.
Bank of America got hit, Hotmail got hit.
I think there's the least expensive terrorist app.
Yeah.
You're very safe and it costs them the least.
But I don't know, you know,
Big.
Register would give you I mean, I don't pay, I mean, God, my 3-year fee for them is practically nothing to keep the domain and to host the website.
Our fee goes to the federal government. And it's expensive, it's $185 a year.
Okay, any other comments, any questions?
We'll make that change
Okay,
in the minutes.
okay. Seeing none, vote for the approval minute. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Oh, before we move on, I want to make another comment. For the agenda page, you know, we brought it up before. Can we next time put down the page number on the item, like for example, the review and approval of proposed fiscal policy. Next to it, put PP 95-103. I mean, it's
Let's
easy.
talk about on the,
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, for those, it's
That would
easy.
be good.
The PDF has a link already open there.
You
Yeah,
just-
so in the PDF, there's a bookmark.
you
I
can-
clicked on it
But
today.
here it's not.
Yeah, when you print,
Should-
but because I usually print it and then I said,
Okay.
look.
I'd rather we buy you an iPad,
Easy.
just give it to the guy.
I saw the water district now have their.
We can't even get a shirt.
I know.
I mean, we're not,
Weren't we supposed to get the computers from our nominees from the town council? I have yet to see them.
I just want to have a soda.
You don't even have a T-shirt, forget about all that.
I know, shirts are difficult.
shirts are
How about the
really tough.
computers?
The what?
The computers, the laptops.
Yes, I
Which ones
think
you want? You want those tablets, HPs?
iPad,
I don't know where it's best.
Maybe we could buy
We
some
don't care.
surplus.
I think so.
We'll stick with what we.
I think we should take
No,
the
no,
town truck.
but that is
You give me
free
the shirt,
shirt.
Okay.
how's that?
At least we'll get the shirt. We're negotiating so we get something.
You get it all in one shot.
I think, I agree with Bill. I think having that, it saves time and a lot of effort and things like that. And being committee members, why not have one, you know?
You mean an iPad?
iPad, laptop, or whatever. I mean, when you're late, somebody else gets it. It's not that, you know, it's fine, but I think that's at least, it saves time and money.
Oh, you're not an iPad, I can tell.
As a paper guy.
I had an iPad, but I think this is easy.
Yeah, you can write on it.
And-
You can get an iPad, they got an app,
You
you
know,
can get a PDF and write all.
But you know, if you have a government issue property, you carry that. I think it's a burden responsibility.
I always keep them.
It is, that's true.
Yeah, somebody may use it and to the full extent. I just think, I don't even get my phone and computer at home. Is it correct? Oh, by the way, I forgot to announce that. I think our member, Cheryl Mueller, she just passed the EA exam. She's certified. So that's probably part of that.
Almost.
She would pass the exam, becoming a, was it enrolled agent?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to congratulate him. I think it's a good sign.
That's very
I just have a minute. Since, you mentioned about a newsletter, is that? But I think right after this hurricane, I think the staff, the management deserves kudos for that. I think it'd be good to bring that up.
Exactly, yeah.
And bring everybody knowledge about, update, and you're right, that newsletter might as well.
Yeah, I think the last night at the district meeting.
Yeah, these things don't happen
They
all
have
the time,
confidence.
so might as well capitalize on it.
And
When
thank
did
you.
you, excuse me, when did you complete it? Yeah,
And-
enrolled agent.
I think you deserve a topic.
Acknowledge.
Thank you.
Public
Flogging.
You're collecting, I mean, is there a place where people can sign up on the website to be put on a distribution, email distribution
If you
list?
go to I-1,
I want.
number 1 is request a road. Number 2 is subscribe to, you can subscribe
Subscribe
to
to
the
the newsletter.
FAAC, you can subscribe
Oh,
to
that's
Agenda,
great.
you can subscribe to, I'm not sure if the newsletter's been there, but we can fix that to make it as such. But you can go right there and it'll
Are you gov or org, or ED?
Go.
go. It's loxhedgegrows.fl.gov.
It's more user friendly, so
It's-
more staff
it's
can
a
get
great,
involved and
it's
be
faster,
able to keep it up.
it's very nice.
better than the old.
you know. Well, are you, when are you gonna actually transition it and shut down the other website?
As
or
soon as we
redirect?
find all of the quirks.
Okay.
like the
So keep
PDA.
sending them in if you see something.
Yeah, send them in. The more feedback we get, the better.
Okay.
The video is still gonna be in YouTube now, the audio is gonna be immediately, like tomorrow.
Oh,
this
wow.
audio, I'm gonna load it up.
That's great.
And I think when we do streaming video, it'll be available, what, the next day?
Oh, streaming is gonna be both
Streaming's immediate.
immediate.
Immediate? Okay, that's even
If you
better.
log on to the website, get it, but we have a problem.
What?
You have to have a fixed location, fixed IP, fixed,
So we're gonna need like a camera?
you need
And
a
it's from the
specific
spot.
location, never moves.
Ooh.
That's a small problem. But in the meantime, we do this.
They will fix it. Okay, let's move on. We do a presentation, we do an old business, new business. 5A, approval of FY 2012 financial statement, no one, budget versus action. Mr. Manager.
I will defer to Mr. Underwood, I think he wants to, this is his baby.
What, we're gonna do the budget first?
Yeah, what is it? I'm not going to.
Okay, where are the comments?
Oh, you want the comments on that first?
Yeah.
This is results. Are we doing results or budget?
Oh, well, this is the first thing in my page.
It's colorful.
See, baby heads?
Which
Yeah,
one we
all right,
want?
we will talk about that. You
Okay.
know, that's, you know what I'm gonna say.
Besides the eight,
He's checking to see if we read it.
which one do you have?
I have the,
83.3% of the year left?
yeah. Oh, no, I just want to 75.
Oh, okay.
I've got 83, I
Yeah.
But the numbers are the
Mine says
same.
The numbers
Sure,
are
mine
set.
says-
Numbers are the
Sometimes
same.
I kind of ignored it.
Oh,
The only thing that changed was the 83.3. He's just
That is
checking.
just BSing me, right?
Just want to see if we read it.
I have
Okay.
83.3.
Why are we moving? Right now, it's showing that we have 43% year-to-date of our revenue, 79% of our expense.
Yes.
And the reason that's, and you know why that's out of whack, because $1 million got moved through the income statement and expense, but not revenue. And so we're out of whack. And I guess what I would like to see, from a management accounting perspective, it's very difficult for people, or even for me to make a report, to the council and say, you've only got 43% of your revenue, but you spent almost 80% of your money, which isn't true. I mean, it's.
Well, it is.
But then the 43 isn't true because,
Well, that is too. They're both true. Because,
well, why do we have $1 million budget?
well, because we have to, and I have this discussion. $1 million is not a revenue. It's not a current year. We did not earn it. We didn't bring it in this year. It's from fund balance.
Oh, we're gonna bring it in when we,
Well, so at the end of the year, when the budget closes out, revenue and expenses, right? It's gonna close out, it's gonna close out and take $1 million out of fund balance. Okay? If I plug that number in there.
but this isn't the fund balance, this is the income statement.
I understand, and that $1 million though, is a transfer in from fund balance. That's what the council approved last year.
Okay, so why would we transfer out the expense when we don't transfer in the revenue in the same period? That's it's a
Okay.
matching principle that I'm
I
having a problem.
understand, because it's not really revenue. By the true definition.
But if we're gonna change it by the end of the year, why would we do it now? And why did we budget it? That's what, I mean,
Well, the budget is for the purposes of it, telling everybody, we're gonna use $1 million of your fund balance. That's why you budget it.
well, when will we move that?
It's already gone.
What's the trigger? Well, then why don't we show it as gone?
Well,
It's only in the budget, it's not in the revenue.
it's on the expenditure side, not on the
But
revenue
we
side.
budgeted it on the revenue side. So do we need to do a budget amendment then to get rid of that million? I
No,
mean,
the million is there for purposes of, for presentation to the general public. It is to say, here's $1 million we're gonna take from fund balance. There's no real $1 million revenue. It's not a real,
No, I know that, but I mean, it's just that, to me, I don't understand why we
Because, well,
move
when
it in the
I-
same period that we moved the expense.
when I close out.
We haven't spent the money either, I mean.
No, but it's, we moved, when we close out the funds, balance sheet, revenues,
Why wouldn't we
expenditures,
move the
trial
expense when we
balance.
close out? It's just the timing that you know, that's all I'm saying is, you know,
The
just-
timing occurs when you close the year, that's what I'm trying
but
to.
only for
explain.
revenue, not for expense.
Correct. Because it's not, what
So what
happened,
triggered us to move the expense?
I said, put the $1 million over there in the other fund, the capital improvement fund where it was budgeted.
Basically like a borrowing, is it borrowing? Basically.
No, they gave it.
This.
See, the definition of revenue is something that was earned.
Right,
We did not earn that $1 million. That was earned last year, 2 years ago, however many years.
right. On a
So
accrual
it's-
basis, that's the definition, but,
No, a real definition. We have not earned that money at all this year. That money came out of your piggy
you're on
bank.
cash basis.
Came out of your piggy bank. When you close the fund accounting, when you close the books, literally, add up all the revenues, all the expenses, you go to your fund balance, there's gonna be a deficit in general fund. The deficit is gonna be $1 million, assuming everything else is. The deficit will be $1 million, you go to fund balance, go, oh, and fund balance gets knocked down $1 million. That's, I could probably put something in there for purposes of presentation.
You know, where I'm coming from, Bill, and we've talked about this before you came. I mean, this is, but we wanted to be on a cash basis as much as, for the,
I'm trying.
during the year, you know, and because that helps everyone to understand, and this is really, this is not the document that you're gonna send to CAFR. It is not, you know, and I want you to have the flexibility to do what you feel you need to do for your process, to be comfortable with it. But,
Well, I'm trying to follow the governmental accounting
I
standard.
understand, no,
And generally accepted accounting.
and you know that better than anybody, and I don't, you
Well, I
know,
don't know it better than.
I'm certainly not
anybody
gonna
else,
argue
he
with you
does.
about it.
I'm not interested in that.
I,
quiet.
I just see this more as my concern is when we communicate with the council and when we communicate with the public, how are people gonna really
Maybe
understand?
you can
you know?
clarify it.
I still don't understand what you just said.
Do the budget in
In terms
here,
of the timing.
$1 million transfer from fund balance,
Yes.
so it's like a entry, it's a token, we put it there. Now,
It's for
my question
purposes,
is,
for purposes
the
of.
question is, did we actually move the money into the revenue side?
No, not of the revenue,
It's
in
in
the
the budget.
expense, the
I know.
appropriation.
Because what happens now, you put a budget of $1 million there, and then year to date, you put nothing.
That's correct,
That's why it's skewed to 43%.
that's correct.
Now, if the money is there, we just haven't spent it.
Well, the money's in the bank account.
I know, but the money is in the bank account, if considered transfer revenue from another fund. Should or can we modify it to put another $1 million under year-to-date that we have actually received from another account?
I can do that as long as I don't have to put it, actually book it. I can do it.
Yeah. I think,
What is the
because
best way to
this
describe
number
it?
here, it really skewed 43%. If you have another $1 million on the date, year-to-date, then it becomes 1.95, and then it won't be 43%.
Right, that's fine, I mean, I would love it if you would do that.
And
because,
make a footnote
you
somewhere.
know, I-
Well,
I
just so
like
long,
the
just so
other
long
thing.
as when you go to
It's
look
not
at
the
the
time
detailed
ledger.
transactions, you
Yeah.
don't see it.
You know it's transfer, it's not actual revenue.
Well, we can reconcile that pretty easily,
Yeah.
but,
Well, it just can't, I just took it out of fund balance. That's all.
Yeah, but the problem is that because you put down a budget and then you calculate the year-to-date as a percent,
Right.
it becomes,
I understand.
understated by another $1 million because.
we're trying to make it simple so that, you know, the public and the council can understand.
And also, when you put 0%, it catches.
Well, I just try, my goal would be an educational process for everybody, including the public. They understand that's not real money. I mean, it's real money, but it's not revenue.
No,
By
I
definition.
know, yeah, we know that, and I think that they can understand that too, as long as we have apples and income and expense.
Maybe Bill could help clarify it, so the 43% would not be 43 anymore.
Really?
Reflect the
Yeah,
actual.
you've got another $1 million
Yeah,
in and out. Because I reflected it in the appropriation, because that's where we put it to give it to the other fund, the other business. So we did that. And then we reflected it in the other business, the CIP, as $1 million coming in. And for that fund, that's new money. That is brand new. It's
That's
never
it.
seen it.
305.
Is it
Are you
305?
referring to the
Yeah,
balance sheet?
she
You
is.
add an additional sheet to
Yeah,
305.
305. That fund, it's never had.
Shows, clearly
anything.
shows the million sitting there.
Correct.
Yeah,
The million is the revenue that doesn't
Bill will
exist.
try to figure it out, Jesse.
yeah, I mean, that's a good compromise if that would work.
I can try to do that, just as long as you guys don't beat me up when you get to the detail and you go, where's the $1 million?
Well,
It won't be
we're
there.
gonna know where it is.
I can put it here, I can stick it in the budget, not in the transaction.
Okay, just put it on the chart and then, you know,
Okay.
we'll give the council, if they ask, I'll know how to explain it. You know?
You sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Tell
tell them
them
there's an accounting, it's an accounting entry, it has to be made during the year, and it can't be made in the general ledger, but we have, you know, we did have to move the expense, so we are, simply using the matching principle, which is,
You have any other questions?
you know, for management purposes.
Are you listening?
That was that was really the
Virginia?
main
Just noticing that on the selected, on the right-hand side, there was a shift also from road and streets, and a new line added, construction town roads and streets.
Yes.
We're just, you could just.
Oh, okay, that is,
5 to 6 in there.
6 cent money.
Okay, so it's just simply moved to the proper account. Thank you, okay. And then, let's see, I don't have my correct reading glasses here. I think that was, it was just one last thing I want to check here. On the Waxahachie Water Control District, we see under expenditures the 137,052, which is the large payment that was made from that very detailed list, and I want to compliment your accounting department. Some people don't seem to understand what a huge detailed invoice came in. It wasn't a simple invoice just for,
There wasn't just one, there was more than one.
right, it was what, 3 inches thick, and it was gone through.
That
That was the second one.
That was the.
That was the second one.
Oh, and it all come through in a different format before.
Okay, yeah, just we really appreciate the time and detail that was taken to go through that and catch the errors.
Yeah. I think next time we send a bill to the district.
Well, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
That's it, that's all I see on this one.
I think
Okay, but I will try to make this correction before you present it,
Before, right, thank you.
okay?
Thank you very much, yeah.
I just see something on the, for our attorney, under expenditure, the last, on the right-hand side. We have 50,000, 60,000. Is that 33% correct?
No,
I want to check it out.
percentage is not right.
It might be 130,
Then we might be 100, but probably cut off third.
Okay.
That's why you have
Okay.
to try to pick too much information in one spot.
It probably did cut the one off.
That's, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's very tight report. But I will double check that, so
Okay.
133 kind of makes sense.
Not 33.
No.
Any other comment and discussion regarding the budget? Seeing none, let's move on.
Was that budget or that
But
chart
the
was?
actual- I don't know, is
But
it
I think if we're talking about, people might have other questions on,
on other pages?
Yeah, the next
On the-
page actually is the detail for that thing. The budget. is where we pull that in.
that's not.
Recent,
I don't know where we want.
But right now, for
This is-
items
It would
to
be
bank
page 10 of
reconciliation.
120.
Okay, all
Right.
right, I see.
The backup for the next thing. I do see, of course, some things exceeded 100%, some expenses, which you've already clarified the procedure for that when that happens.
Yes.
Let's see, there's
See,
And they
revenues I'm not as concerned about as the expenditures. I like to see over 100% in revenue.
This is budget.
Last one you did.
Cheryl, did you have some things? Cheryl's got stuff.
But it's in the expenditures, it's not in the revenues or anything like that.
Okay,
Ready?
Well, what page do you
as
get?
best I can be.
I'm gonna start with the agenda pack 53 of 120.
Page 53 of 120.
Yes,
Say that again, please.
page 53 of 120, the agenda packet page.
Shoot.
Okay. Question, in the account 511490, transportation expenses, do they belong there? Or were they moved and I didn't pay attention? I didn't see anything of 18334.
511490.
490, legal advertising.
183.
Yes.
Oh, that,
Where did it, are we taking it to travel, or are we taking it to, are we leaving it there? Where does it belong? And to me, it seems that transportation expenses belong in travel. Per diem or plane or meals, or however you want to categorize it.
that's the one that Cheryl was, on legal advertising, 18334 on page 11.
Mm-hmm.
We have it as
If
a
you look at
credit.
detail, that's transportation.
Right, and then, let's see what it says
Okay.
here on this page.
Yeah, I didn't see it in the book itself. I didn't see where it went, so it's kind
That's
of,
what I was, yeah.
I didn't see it. That's why I was wondering, are they gonna, it was obviously a misprint because we don't put transportation in legal, but where it went, either I didn't see it or I looked, when I looked, I didn't see it.
Because it is under legal advertising, but they're calling it transportation, okay, so.
And that was my, we're all for trying to keep transportation and legal and legal. And some
Were
of
there
these are-
legal advertising for transportation expenses? I guess is
I
that the
don't
question?
What are the plastering on the sides of buses?
Well, for the roads maybe? I guess perhaps, is it maybe the
I
signs?
just needed clarification as to, was it meant to be put there, or was it
That's what I'm
something that?
Okay, Bill will check it
I think it's probably meant to be put there.
out. Okay.
And I remember something about signs or something, I thought at the last minute.
We need just advertising, it wouldn't be, for my thing, it would be advertising as opposed to transportation.
Okay, Bill will check it out, right? Yeah. And
So, ha.
other comments, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm having comments all over the place.
Give it to them.
Okay, another question, and some of these are because I wasn't here last meeting, so we'll just have to, answer me one, who is Jay Moore and why is she in 9 accounts being reimbursed?
Former town clerk, page 4.
The next page, 54, I went through and counted. Because she was in so many places.
She had a credit card,
Okay,
as do I.
okay, so that's what, and those reimbursements are for you, okay.
Yeah.
It was just my, wait a minute.
And
And
it's
then,
not actually a check paid to Jan Moore, it's Jan charged it on the town credit card, right? Isn't
Yes.
that, but it's showing up in the
Okay.
ledger by the name of the person.
that's what that is, that number, that's the
Who
credit
it's
card.
for. Yeah.
Okay. And then, in postage and freight, 51240, 420 actually, there are office supplies in freight. Are they miscategorized for April? I was snoozing at the time, you guys caught me on a snooze day. April 19th, 2012, account 512420.
Nah,
Were they miscategorized?
I'm guessing that it probably has to do with postage and freight. Could have been boxes, could have been,
Okay. No, I'm
April 9th,
just-
you know, the April
I-
9th, I believe that.
I had
might be
simply
grants.
because it's postage reimbursement, postage cost.
grants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The what?
certified mail.
Grants.
Sending.
you
I have to send out the books.
certified.
Certified boxes.
Yes.
Well, being as every other one mentioned something with postage and or freight, these said office supplies, I kind of went, hey, wait a minute.
It was boxes that we had to find stuff, and grant documents in, ship.
And the other one was comp plan, that sounds around the same time.
Okay.
You know, all the packages, obviously all the agencies.
Next question. Next page, 56 of 120. In the account 512540, this month, actually in July, there was something sent to Frank Spence. I thought we were done with him. Third entry in books, publications, and subscriptions. $160.
Oh, you know what that is? That's the GFOA.
Yeah.
It was under his name. Yeah.
Oh,
In order to get our distinguished
award.
CAFR award.
We think.
Yeah.
So, okay. But
I
we
changed
shouldn't have
that
had,
already.
it's just an error in the description, not
Yeah,
in,
we gotta get his name
You
on.
gotta
it.
get his
Okay.
name wrong.
Yeah.
I did it already, yeah, I notified them already.
off the bill, okay.
What is it? Was it Frank Span, Tom Anger memorandum?
Yeah.
No, it's manager.
Anger management.
I don't know, anger.
No,
Anger
manager.
management.
It's Anager.
I thought it's anger memorandum.
I like
it's
anger
Anager
management better.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess in the next account, accounting and auditing, the June 19th entry for reimbursables, that's just using the credit card.
No, that was me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Clarify, please.
That was for the time that I used putting the audit together.
I just, sometimes for me, just because I am who I am.
That's fun. I don't have an issue.
You may after tonight, I'm not, that's.
That's fun.
So we.
You haven't rattled us yet, you know?
He slept in Holiday
So
Inn
take-
Express
so
last
we-
night.
Yeah.
We pay the extra hour you spend to prepare for the audit at a time? Will it happen again this year?
Not unless you fire me.
Huh?
Not unless you fire me.
That was remember that was the
That was-
work
that
that
was
we
the
had to
dispute,
do.
yeah.
Extra
not
work that
this
needed to be
contract.
done to do whatever he didn't, the other guy didn't do?
That's
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Clarification.
work that should, that was involved in closing out the prior fiscal year.
Right,
So you won't have to do it again unless you fire me.
okay.
And then we'd be paying somebody else.
That's correct.
And then have somebody else's name. Okay, page 58 of 120. Account 514310. General matters of what?
What account?
Those are all,
514310, huh?
looks like those are legal bills.
Okay. And
And,
there's a
that's-
solid
that's-
waste special assessment in that. Why is it there? I thought,
Because he worked on
that was that,
it. He sent a memo,
That's
letter.
probably his memo, yeah, he did all.
Shiola?
They
No,
No.
moved it to.
Cheryl. Dude, the
Cyril.
Oh,
law,
I mean,
Cyril.
but-
this is all the law firm.
No, I understand, but the classification here, the description, it says solid waste special assessment.
Yes.
That's just,
It
that was
just-
for him
it was
doing
a-
that.
It was a memo. That was it. I don't know.
It was just a typo as to what it was.
No.
No, that's.
No,
what-
but I mean, it,
But that was just his memo to us on that subject.
Okay.
He did a comprehensive memo from start to finish on handling the solid waste assessment.
Okay.
Which I guess he has done previously as well, so.
So,
Okay.
we,
Still happy so far? Haven't rattled you yet?
yeah,
Next page.
okay.
Well, she must have something, she did.
You didn't see anything after that?
No?
Is the, I have a question, since we're talking about the attorney, is he an RFP or he's just appointed by the town management,
Appointed by the town council.
town council, so he's not an RFP?
Could be.
Yeah.
So there is an option of an RFP for attorney, but this present attorney is appointed by town
So
council.
I think
Not
that
RFP.
firm's been here since
Yeah,
the
since the
inception of the district.
Okay, so there's no expiration, just, we were talking about contracts expiring, like solid waste authority, and I had not heard that one mentioned.
But you know, we should look at their contract and see what it says in terms of the term, because, you know, OIG looks at all that stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good question, I don't know, you know, what the term says.
Yeah,
there
we need, since you're
indefinitely.
new, you need to you're reviewing all the contracts, I was just curious because you were bringing up different contracts in the meetings lately.
Check.
And this is an account question, just for clarification, because it just seems a little odd to me. Page 60 of 120, account 519354, code compliance. Why are there 3 of them?
Say that again, Sean?
There are 3 accounts called code compliance.
One of them's a zero, it's no.
I know, I just want to make sure that was that something that you found out that there were that there were all of those and you consolidated them to one?
Well, one special magistrate.
Right.
Okay, so my question in asking about these multiple ones, because there's another one, communications services, the account just below it, there's 2 of those.
Oh, no, one is the beginning heading.
Well, no, there's the account 519354.
Yeah,
And
okay,
then-
but above that, it's the beginning balance.
No, and then if you look on page 63, 524310,
Is that one zero?
I don't know if it continues on the next page. It is, and there's 2 of them on that same one. There's 52,
Okay, yeah, that's because
524,310.
it was misclassified pursuant to the uniform.
Well, that's what I mean. You found that there were several and you consolidated them to one,
No.
or?
That was the wrong account,
Okay.
period. Not a consolidation, they just, when it was created,
Mm-hmm. It was not miscategorized, but
misclassified.
misclassified.
And while we're on that page, Cheryl,
Which one?
we're on
63, 60?
63. While we're on that page, Cheryl, I did take the time to bother the accounting office and Mr. Mark Cutney to verify that the $2,136.93 was, because there was several large expenses were for office equipment, I believe, and
Oh, you mean, well, because my other question when it came to that was the 1563 in and out and then divided up.
oh, no, that was a separate, I was talking about the 2,136.93.
Yeah.
That one, there were some charges on there for office equipment, the invoice is in here, but it just didn't say what the equipment was, so.
Every time we purchased any kind of computer or whatever, it went out on my credit card, yeah, I'd be the guy to go get it because I'm the only one that signed for the card.
Right, and Perla did verify that, and then I also see that we had to take on a storage unit due to the rental issue.
Right, well, that's why I was wondering that 1563, it went in, it went out, and then it was divided. I was like, what? So you cleared that
All the
one up.
components of the website, looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was done in June, and it was 1563 on the on-site training,
Right.
and then it went in, it was taken out, there was 2 of them, 1563 and 1500. They were both in and out, and then the 1563, right below it on the 1156 transfer and change were divided into 12 and 363. So that was my question with that, but that's been done. Still liking you so far.
Sure.
How about the communication services account, the 410?
What page?
Page,
Still, page 60 of 120.
see, we're back, oh, we're going back.
We're going back, well, everybody kind of went.
Oh, I apologize, I thought,
No, it's okay. There's communication services, you need 2 different accounts for those as well? Because I noticed that there's 2 of those.
Where was the other one?
We're in
So I
a,
might have it depending on what function.
Right. I just was curious.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing, there probably is two accounts.
where do you see the second one?
I did see it,
I think
and
that's
right now,
another
it's running away from me.
Cheryl, what you should do is look to see if there's two accounts, if one of them has a zero balance at the end.
Well, sometimes
Then you've got
if it
this
doesn't,
out of it.
wouldn't that confuse the accounting of it if one's a zero balance? How would you,
No.
where would you put,
And
I'm
just-
just for as little accounts as possible.
What happened was, I don't know if you were.
I had one communication and executive,
Yeah, because one has internet plans and phones on it,
I have another one in general government.
I do believe, yeah. And that's so that you can, one for the general fund and one for.
No, they're both general fund,
I mean,
general
because when I
government
look at the
budget, that's the budget.
summary of it, it will come to me.
Okay.
It says it, and that's why one says executive, one says legislative.
Yes,
And that's just so you can keep track of you guys and then the town council, that's what it's broken down into? Basically.
basically. That sounds like a good point.
Okay. Next page, 61. And I know, like I said, you guys are catching me. Now I'm fully awake and ready to go.
That's good.
Before I was kind of in an EA stupor. I noticed, and this is going back a little bit, but it's in March that, and then my guess is it's been transferred since then. March 9th, 205, both 205, these are, if I look at them, they're around the same thing as the internet and phone. So my guess is that they've been moved out of those accounts. It is 327 and 225. 327, 77, and 225 even. And it has the account number for the, I guess, the town office, and then another number underneath it.
One is for the internet, the other one is for the.
Yeah, but it's all in rentals and leases. That was my, it needs to be moved out of there, or it did get moved.
It probably has not.
And just, some of these are just clarifications as to why they were put where they were. Down in June, 335 PJ. It was the transfer of the 1,500, so you moved it out of the hosting town website. You moved it out of rentals and leases and put it into
Here.
the computer
Because
repair.
this is a rental at least.
Haven't flummoxed you yet.
Okay, keep trying.
Next page. Okay, next page, 62. On June 5th, in the account 519460,
Is that-
yeah,
Dial
repairs,
soap?
maintenance, and, yeah, repair, office supplies and dial soap.
Well, we bought out soap.
Repair, what are you gonna repair with the dial soap? You hope to make some kind of glue with it?
Well, there was just not a good category under which to put stuff related to.
Oh, I
the
can
building.
call that.
Office supplies.
Yeah. I like the descriptions.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think we were told to make them more
They
descriptive.
were trying to be
You
very
were told,
descriptive.
so that we could look at.
No,
it
no,
and see
not
what
that, I'm just
the-
saying the classification, I'm not talking about the description, I'm talking about the classification.
Oh,
Does it
you
really
don't
belong
know
in
our
repairs and
dial
maintenance for the
soap
building?
is-
What are you gonna do, paint the wall with the dial soap?
Well,
Where do you want to put it?
we
Office
take care of 2
supplies.
bathrooms.
Well, it's not really an office supply either.
It's, as long
It's
as
a
it's
building supply
categorized,
of
does
some sort.
the government matter where it's categorized?
is it wrong to put it in repair and maintenance? I'm just asking, I don't know.
It's not where, my personal opinion, it's not where I would put it, because it's, especially the one that says office supplies, I mean, do office supplies really belong in repair and
Okay,
maintenance?
you
The
got.
dial soap maybe for the
I would-
facial.
I would guess that it was paper towels,
Okay.
the dial soap, maybe toilet paper.
I'm just curious as to a classification as to why it was put where it was put.
See, we now find ourselves in a position where we supply paper and bathroom.
For other people.
For other people.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, oh, yeah, that's right, the rental
Yeah.
places.
Al.
You have to supply
Another
that.
issue.
Yeah, it's a common
Granted.
bathroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Okay.
right, that's right.
And it tends to disappear.
Doesn't it, when it's not theirs, it tends to disappear?
It's amazing how many
Yes,
different thousands.
So our expenses are increasing.
And we are collecting rent on this?
No, we're not getting anything.
No walk on the toilet.
Please.
In fact, we should collect some kind of stipend for telling people
You
that
should.
U-Haul is in room 3, because we
We
probably do
should.
that 10 times a day.
You should.
Even though
You
there's a
should
big
look
sign
into
that
it.
says U-Haul on the door, they can't find it.
A U-Haul fee.
Yeah, there you go. U-Haul advisory.
That's a U-Haul advisory person. Okay, so I hadn't flummoxed yet. I'm ready.
You're doing wonderful.
You did.
Well, good, I'm done.
Oh, I thought you were saving it for the big, here it comes.
She's
I thought
done.
you had something
So
good.
No, I didn't have anything else.
Virginia?
Let me,
Usually I get this from Virginia.
Well, like
No,
I
no,
said,
no.
I was, you caught me
Wait.
with my piece.
Just wait.
I'll take up the original. Let me take it up.
Virginia, go on.
she did such a
You're
good.
trying to challenge her, now you're gonna come up with something.
Look at her book, look at her book, look at that.
Look,
Pretty good, am I?
She studies this thing inside out and back.
I just want to be able to know next year, or if it comes up again, I think that those of us who would like to go to an accounting class that's offered, that we should be able to go.
When is it?
Wait a minute, I thought I brought that up.
You did,
Wait,
but the
Renata?
town council did not approve it. I think there was a discussion.
We brought up several training opportunities that were kind of like,
They were all shot down at the same time, but I think for the next opportunity comes up, I'm going to be more vocal, and I would like to ask that we all be more vocal.
You
And
mean the
Be given the
council shut it
Yeah.
down for the,
well, there was,
Which
let's
one?
see, back in
which one? This-
about 3 months ago, there was the Urban Congress that a number of planners and zoning board members wanted to attend.
Oh.
At the same time, there was what was the council training at that time?
Eva?
Was it emo? And only Councilman Vice Mayor Rocket went on the emo.
that was, I believe, where the accounting took.
Well, that's just a half-day class.
Right.
You want some real accounting? I got a week.
Oh, government finance.
I
board.
don't
It's
know
good.
if we
It's
could
a
It's
mental-
full of governmental finance, and it's a week long.
It's a week.
It's in
Where
November.
is it?
Goes around the state.
I don't know where
Rotates.
it is this year.
Oh, it's, they call it bowling.
Really? Is it?
5 days, and it's outstanding.
Is it financially seasonal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not that bad.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
Hey,
Right.
now that I've gotten this, I gotta
What's
worry
it,
about that.
what's it run, about a grand?
The tuition's pretty cheap.
Well, I just think
The
that the
housing.
committee should be aware of any educational opportunities we'd like to know about
Absolutely,
them.
for professional development.
The more you're educated, the better off I am.
Yes, that's where I'm going, that's
Virginia,
sure, Bill,
Some
yes.
questions.
3 years ago, I went to one in St. Petersburg, it's outstanding. It's outstanding.
I'm going back to page 21.
Okay, no more going back.
I'm sorry, I apologize because I know you
It's
were
okay.
going
I'm
to the
teasing,
budget.
I'm teasing.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Um,
It is.
My question, and I just needed a clarification of understanding how this works. And you may have touched on it already with Elise when you had your discussion. On the balance sheet, now that we have the capital improvement fund added back in, I was just confused, I guess, in how everything adds up for the total fund balance.
You what
On
you understand?
on page 21, when you do the excess revenue over, under expenditures,
Right.
and you come up with a -787, which of course I think is that little number on our
It's the
little
same,
funny sheet,
yeah.
and I think you've already addressed it. So I just want to clarify that 787-75084, is that supposed to equal the amounts that are on the other pages? It doesn't, right? On the other funds. I know sometimes when we do our total liability across, it equals, but that one will not.
No, because it's staying alone.
Right, it's the previous discussion, just wanted,
It's supposed to equal what it equals to.
Right. yeah, I just wanted to. I think Cheryl's pretty much covered it.
Well, now that you've mentioned that page 21, I just have a quick, how are we doing with all of these guys? Are all these guys outstanding? Do they owe us, I mean, are they caught up? Do they owe us anything?
Yeah, we got the Kilday problem, community problem.
Community Hope is gonna be resolved.
Kilday.
Kilday was that, don't forget we have a lawsuit. So I don't expect to see.
But the ones you were concerned about have been dealt with or going to be? or-
7-Day Adventist is still out there, we're gonna be waiting on them. Palm Beach State College just went into
Did we ever find out what the deposit on building permits pertained to?
Pardon me?
The deposit on building permits, did we ever find out where that $299.28 belongs?
Excuse me? I just found out the 7-day Adventist church paid at the end of August, which is a $1259.75.
Oh, they did pay?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Right.
Good.
Okay.
Palm Beach State, do they not have a deposit with us yet, or how is that working? Are
No, they
paying?
did, and they just crossed into it recently.
Okay, so we gotta get more money from them.
And FMM1 LLC,
That is a town-initiated rezone. Those are doctors who own property on Southern Boulevard,
that's,
and they have a county zoning designation, and we have to put a town zoning designation
I just wondered because that was new.
Okay, Richard?
I just had a resident ask me, and I thought I knew what the answer was, and again, once again, your accounting department, Pearl Underwood, took the time to make sure I was saying it correctly. On the one, somebody brought up a question, we do have residents that actually go online and do look at this stuff. And they asked about the 148 pairs.
What page is it?
I'm sorry, page 69. And they had asked why the 148 Terrace Bridge culvert was under the transportation fund. And I'm gonna practice saying this again. One, it should not be in the general fund because it would get lost there. It's road work, it's transportation fund. So that is why we're there documenting it. Thank you, I practiced. Okay. That is all I have.
Okay. More discussion and question? So what's the next one? I know what
The fiscal policies.
so bank reconciliation, general ledger, bank statement, everything's done?
Didn't we interrupt, did you want to, I thought we had started with this and,
Well, we went through all the detail that makes that up.
Okay, so
that's
we're-
fine.
What about, we done with 5A?
We usually just do them all at once.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve that?
I make a motion to approve the financial statement.
Okay, motion by Liz, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Cheryl, any discussion?
Yeah, just to clarify, the only changes that we're gonna see is in that general chart, and you're gonna find the one that disappeared, and
The $1 million.
and the $1 million will get put into revenue in that chart.
Yeah, we're gonna lie.
That's good.
Please clarify. so
I'm just
the
trying to
board
be clear, I want to be perfectly transparent.
You're gonna humor these people that don't know what they're doing.
That is
They
correct.
go to the county.
We're gonna do that.
Thank you.
Any
So
other-
5A, you moved.
Yeah,
Second.
Cheryl,
At least motioned, I second.
Okay.
any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. What about B? Review of planning and zoning invoices, and CD? Oh, we have to correct B. What about B? 5B, review of planning and zoning invoices. Do you have any questions on
No.
that? No questions? Budget amendment, any question? C? Okay, then let's go to D, review and approval of proposed fiscal policy. Page 95.
Okay, excuse me, but I have here, there's no budget amendment, so there's no motion for that.
No action.
Okay, no action.
No action for
Well,
PSC.
there is a budget.
Is there action?
There is a budget amendment.
But do we need to approve it, or?
Well, we will take it to the council, with your recommendation
All right.
to approve it would be certainly helpful.
Then I will make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
what are they?
It starts on page 88. Oh, they did? Oh, never mind.
They discussed it.
Okay, who second?
Did somebody second?
Motion by Elisa, we have a second? Motion, sure.
I just had a
Okay,
need
discussion,
clarification. No, I just need clarification. We received this, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. We received this evening, and what we have here in the agenda, is it?
It's the same one? It's not the same one, that's,
It's different, correct? So my question is, I see this is 6 pages, and this is now 21.
Is that the budget? That's the proposed budget?
Recommended revenue estimates and appropriations.
Yes.
That's for your binder, that's binder that you.
For your budget, the annual budget.
Okay, for the no budget.
So, my question is, what is the difference between?
Oh, you get that whole column there, it says recommend by council? Is there a column filled in there?
Yeah, recommend by council.
Yeah, that was after we went to the council and items that they changed, with the exception of, I'm not sure if the $75,000 is in that. You go to the general government and transfer from, general fund, transfer from fund balance, I should have put in $75,000 in the revenue side, if that's the way it's raised.
Transfer from fund balance, I see. Annual $1 million, proposed 300,000. Council recommended 350.
Okay, then on the expenditure side, under the 001519 area, at the bottom should be contingency.
Well, are we doing the
Well,
2012 budget again?
that's what you were doing with the 2012.
Yeah, this is just asking.
That's the next step.
Okay, I apologize. I thought, that's where I got confused, which year you were on.
Now, that's 13.
Right, okay, but
This is 12.
that's why I was just trying to keep up. I got confused there by the 2 pages, or the 2 different sections. What page, and so that was my question, is what page were we on for?
The budget amendment started at 90.
And I apologize for
88.
interrupting.
Started on 88, but the real impact was on page 91.
Okay.
You see the yellow
Okay, so this is what we're currently approving.
concurring.
And if you remember, it was set to come before you on August 27th due to the flooding, so I actually got the council before.
It did, but we were voting concurrent and approval.
Is there any, there's no difference in this and what we've seen before, though, right? I mean,
No.
I was thinking we were just supposed to transportation fund, 5 cents, 5 cents to 6 cents. and,
Yeah.
This was the only
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor for the budget amendment? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, let's come to 5D, review and approval of proposed fiscal policy.
It starts on page 95 of 120.
And this one we also took to council on June 4th because of the meeting being delayed, but we have requested council not take final action until the 18th.
So,
Typically, this will be approved at the same time the final budget's approved.
This is the first time we see it.
Yes.
So you're not looking for action on this tonight, then, or are you?
We would like to have some recommendations.
Have you all had a chance to read it?
I know Cheryl.
Have you had a chance to read it?
Virginia did.
You have read it, okay, good. I did read it, but it was like.
Look, now it's gonna be his turn.
She's giving me that look like, don't put words in my mouth.
I read it, and I also noticed that
We have a
Mr.
division of
Rocket
labor.
made a comment at the town council meeting. He took the time to make a comment about fiscal policies, and I'm just trying to recall what his comment was. He was asking for clarification on whether the town had fiscal policies before, or is this our first time adopting?
First time.
Oh, yeah.
So he did make a point of saying that, so this is our first time adopting fiscal policies for the town.
Right. This is, gives you the framework to handle the budget and your operation. It's not the same as your accounting and auditing procedures. This is a mechanism to define how you do business.
This is actually more high level to put into practice of putting numbers together. So this is like the high level rules. Okay, first of all, I think it's a good idea. I mean, we are such a small town, and we have all these fiscal policies. I think it's very good. I want to borrow the terms that the district discussed last night. They given a very good parameters for us to discuss, to gauge and guide our operation. I think this is very good. And you want to do it page by page?
We appreciate your comment.
I just have a few comments just for clarification. Would you?
No, I do not, I feel this is best left to you and yours.
I look at it, I think it is pretty good in general, in a nutshell. I don't know how much the town could make the best use of it. I'm sure we can use it when necessary. Okay, I have some clarification, and I just want to throw out the comments here, what you all think. The first one I have on page 1, under general fiscal policy A2. The last, number 2, new program services facilities shall be based on general citizen demand, need, legislative mandate. I would like to put an availability of funding.
What is that?
Under 2A2, 1, general guidelines, on the bottom of page 1 of 8. At the end, new programs are based on the demand, needs, and mandate, and availability of funding. No money, no talk.
We're presuming that if you have the statement just for discussion is that you got citizen demands and needs and legislative mandates, you are going to provide the funding. That's not the ability of funding, but you will. The council will take proactive action to put into place the resources necessary to meet the demand, need, or legislative mandate. I mean, legislative mandate don't have any choice. They will have to find the funding
How is general citizen demand and need determined?
by the council, by committees, by people expressing themselves to the council, we want this, we want that, we want. And then they convince the council, and the council votes, yeah, do that.
A good example was last night that the culvert on D Road was caught, and then the gentleman thought that, somebody need to fund it.
Yes, and
So
I
if
believe,
you have 10 more people who spoke on this subject, maybe the district will consider.
okay, I will, the district
Another
considers.
good example would be the planning moratorium that we currently have in Shelby, that was generated from citizen demand and request, and then of course we're now being litigated against as it relates to, so that's
So the ability of funding things, I don't, fully,
I think, well, I don't want someone to tell us to do something, then we have to do it. We have no money.
well, but if you get a legislative mandate, you will get money.
Something we call it an unfunded mandate, don't forget. We just cannot do it.
You can do what Rick Scott does and say.
I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah, I understand.
I think it'll make a balance. I don't want people to think, you come in and tell us what to do, we'll do it.
Well, here's the question, when you say and are just a novice, just general on the other side of the table, and our ability of funding, what is the definition of our ability of funding? Does that mean, does that mean we're forced to go out, and perhaps it's on the other side of fiscal policy, where we deal with how we obtain credits, et cetera, but can we be forced to go out and get a loan to meet general citizen demand?
I will give you this example. The city of Boynton Beach stopped the developer from developing. The developer sued the city of Boynton Beach. Boynton Beach did not have the money. Boynton Beach had to raise water and sewer revenue rates in order to take the money and pay the developer. They were forced, it was a legislative, judicial mandate mechanism, They had to go
Yeah,
raise
you lose a
money,
lawsuit.
however they had to do it.
I think there's a balance in there, you know, we don't want anybody coming in to tell you what to do and you do it. And then, there's a legitimate balance to say, yeah, we don't have the money.
I mean, general citizen demand is a council decision anyway. I mean, they might decide, yeah, they want to follow that.
And to move to
input,
someone
or they
else,
might not.
and move from somewhere else, make it available.
We'll incorporate the language.
Thank you. And the second suggestion, under three on page 2 of 8, on the top, the town shall provide funding for public services on a fair and equitable basis. I don't know whether you mean the town, including you guys and the town council.
I think this is a guiding principle for the town council. Really, it's a principle that they would operate, and they're going to try to provide fair and equitable treatment to everybody.
So it's not town management, it's talking about the total body. Okay.
This is their policy, and we would follow their policy.
I know, but the policy is to give staff the guidance for them. So I want to make sure when you say the towns of provide funding, I don't want that, put a burden on you to provide funding if somebody requests.
No,
And
that-
then the original comment I have is that as directed by the town council. If you think that the word, the town means the total
Town
body
council.
of the town council, but with, you guys input.
we are here as the servants of the town council, and this policy is for them. They go, okay, we're gonna divvy up the money, this is how we're divvying it up. And then we would implement what their policy is.
Okay.
And what we're saying is the council is not going to discriminate and provide.
I understand that, I understand that.
Well, also, I would just point out that this company has already been shy to point out when we think council's going astray as it
That's
relates.
true.
That's our responsibility.
Right.
And they listen to us or they ignore us. You know, it's third.
Next one for clarification, the last paragraph, with regard to the spending order of the fund balance.
Yeah, this is right out of GASB 54.
Yeah, the town used restricted amount to be spent first.
Right.
So are you referring to
This is all fund balance.
the money set aside for that specific purpose?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. This is right out of GASB 54, and the new fund balance model, which Terry was actually trying to get to me.
Yeah,
When the council adopts this, they will be adopting GASB 54.
okay. On page 3, suggestion, some of these have higher level, like item number 6 and number 4. You may want to consider move them up. Like number 6, it's very high
okay.
level, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
number 4,
really put them in a priority, but I
Yeah.
understand.
I would consider number 6 as 1, at least move them up. Number 4 is number 2. Because they are more high level than the detail. It's just a suggestion, yeah.
Number 4, number 2, and then what do you like?
Number 6, number 1,
Number 6, number 1.
yeah.
Okay.
And then a suggestion there, under number 5,
Right.
at the end, I was thinking about missing assets. That I don't know how to put it, something about, if we have missing asset, we need to report it to law enforcement immediately, and they have to report to the town council. Because you're talking about inventory, all those things. I just put out here, missing assets shall be reported to law enforcement agency accordingly, and then also same will be reported to the town council on a timely manner.
Page 3 of 8, 5.
3 of 8, at the end of.
When I say appropriate, law enforcement agency?
Yes.
Because in some
Absolutely.
cases, it might not be the
Yeah.
sheriff,
Yeah.
it might be
Absolutely.
higher level.
Right.
get them reporting in full time.
And what it should be current, as you report to the law enforcement, you should be reporting to the town council.
I'm even reporting to the council, we underline it, it's right at the town. For the 18th.
I don't know.
Well, think about that, because we want to be able to show them.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Insert.
And, you done? You finished? Okay, under, two, Roman number 2A, A1B, revenue.
Yeah, yes.
And in the bottom of, page 3, here we are talking about do not use the long-term debt to finance expenditure required for current, I would add current or short-term operation.
No, current.
Well, because we do have a short-term.
But I don't think it's I don't think you're thinking here about long-term versus short-term. You're talking about being able to fund the ongoing and current operations of the town.
Short term could be multiple years, could be 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to use that long-term to fund 3 to 5
I
years?
don't want to do any debt to fund any operation. That's only for capital.
But basically, it's just saying that, they need to use current revenue to fund the current
Understand
operations
that.
of the town.
To let town will not use long-term debt to finance
Not be used for that.
expenditures of any kind, just capital.
I think current.
Basically what you do.
Okay, okay.
So
That's
wouldn't you
fine.
reword it?
Well, there's a section in here on debt.
Just,
Okay. If it is clear, this one. On 2, next page,
Yes.
4, page 4, under 2 expenditure, 2B, I suggest you change the word capital to funding. Because we have capital, it could mean infrastructure. You see that? The first one, 2B.
Yeah.
Funding will be provided for major improvement rather than capital.
I don't think I have an issue in there.
Well, because when you read under
What the
2C,
capital is
the word itself,
the cash.
I know. If you read 2C, now you have future capital improvement. And it would, people
With a
would,
little c.
I understand that,
Okay, I got
I
you.
understand that.
So you don't want to be confused between that capital and that
It's
capital.
So
funding,
you want funding?
funding.
That's fine.
And also that, under B,
I'm gonna say that was a good catch.
whatever you say that, I think it's easy. Because when I read that for capital, what's capital? I mean, I'm talking about buildings.
Oh, that's good.
Under B, based on multiple funding planning, I would add the word life cycle costing. Because you mentioned life cycle somewhere else. I think it is a good idea when you do the budget for capital project, you include full cost, which is life cycle costing.
Would you accept
Suggestion.
automation of services based on multi-year planning,
Comma.
appropriate cost-benefit analysis, and life cycle?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want people to be short-sighted, we could get over with the next 2 years, but the upgrade and other things. Okay, moving on to page 5.
Now it's his turn.
I actually read the whole thing.
That's good.
I knew you would.
The numbers, I can't read the numbers, it's too many numbers.
The words are good.
For general fund, on page 5,
Yes.
1C, for clarification, I would add service charges and user fees. I think that's what you mean, right? To recover direct costs and overhead. You use,
Well, there are fees that are not necessarily user fees.
okay.
There are administrative fees.
About all
Public.
That's what I mean. Administrative
That's right.
fees, but we still have a charge to the user. Right? For your consideration. I just don't want people to think, come in and then have demand free services for our protection.
Okay. We'll put it in. I don't have a good argument against it.
Okay. Under E, 3E,
Yes.
a review of services cost and rate structure, add a proposition for solid waste charges.
Okay, 4.
Yeah. Moving along. Page 6 of 8 on the top. Now, we have a town investment policy. Do we plan to
Do we
attach?
do?
Well, this is what you say.
Uh,
Controlled by the town's investment policy. Yeah, I think we do.
Well, if we don't have one, and I.
We do have
We do, we have.
Yeah.
We do?
Yeah, we do.
Should I read it?
Yes.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, I probably don't like it, but
I
I'm.
was gonna say, if it didn't like, bring it back to us, and we'll do it, you know.
I suggest you put a parenthesis after investment policy.
Okay,
See whatever appendix, something, town ordinance and the number, so that we can make reference.
Any movements? A resolution?
Oh, I don't.
We'll find
Yeah.
out.
I think eventually,
We'll
You're
find
looking for transparency of the
well,
document.
it had to be a total package.
No, I.
Eventually, when you have fiscal policy, you should include everything here, including purchasing policy, everything related, how you spend
See, I
money.
was gonna go by chapter 216.
Well,
It should be, the investment policy should be
We
on
have
the
that.
FAAC page
I
of
think we have
the website.
Yeah, it's currently, on the old, it's currently under fiscal policies.
Okay.
I think the reason to add reference to it, so that we have a total package of fiscal related guidelines. Let's see what we will do.
Well, there's 12 different policies eventually you should be adopting.
Oh, I also said that, make sure if we do have other related policies like purchasing or procurement, you may want to incorporate as part of your, these 4 things.
Is that part of the 12 you were referring to? Or were you just referring to investment?
No, investments is
Procurement.
one, there's a debt one.
If it happens to be there, because this is considered regarding how we spend money, so all those things related. Okay.
You're on 1.
I finished that, let me see, I'm looking at, see, I understand what I wrote. It's probably not towns,
All charges.
On page 7, it's just for clarification. Under B, specific guidelines,
Yes.
when you say municipality, or
Municipalities.
you want to change it to town enterprise? I'm talking about ourselves, town to town.
Where's that at?
You wanna call it
B1.
town instead of municipality?
Yeah, it's not, it's even a table there. Change the municipality to town,
Okay. It's municipally.
municipally, yeah. Could change to town.
Okay.
And all the same thing for the next page, 2A, I mean A2, 2A, the last one, the last line. Town,
Where is it?
2A,
And municipally, again, you want to,
town owned, just say town owned enterprise.
that's good. Okay.
Town.
That was a wonderful-
I think that's all I have, other thing of mine. Like short term, I put a hyphen, long term, medium, put a hyphen. And I do that in my report. Long term is a word, just hyphen, short term hyphen. Okay, any other comment? I guess. Okay, no comment. Okay, I think it's good, I think it's a very, 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 very good proposal. Fiscal policy. No more
Do we need a
discussion?
motion to approve?
I think we need a motion to recommend this to the board
With the changes,
with the changes as amended. So we need a
I'll
motion
make the motion
to,
that we approve this for recommendation to the town council.
okay.
we're approving the financial, fiscal policies
As amended.
as amended.
Okay.
And,
Second by Virginia. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Gee, we come to closing comments. A, public. We have any closing comments from the public?
Public?
Seeing none? I'm just acting like chairman of the water commission. I counted 3 seconds in my heart. 1, 2, 3. Seeing none? I think there was approved. Do it? Is it on the agenda?
It's, isn't it, it's.
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
6C2.
No, not
right?
yet, not yet. The public comment. We are not. We are just finished public comment. We'll come down to committee member. Virginia?
I was hoping you were going to start in the other end. I just wanted to say, as you noted before, town management did an excellent job working with the water district through the storm. Mr. Mark Putney, the staff went above and beyond. So thank you very much for being there and doing that. I did hear at the water district, they might expect us to pick up some expenses for the town. I have some concerns about that. And I don't know if this is the appropriate place, I realize this is coming up, but I would ask that if we are going to consider a town hall, that we do a cost comparison of renting versus owning. I think that would be a good idea.
You want to, what's the pressure of the meeting? You want to-
well, I think we need to know, maybe you can update us at the next meeting on what's going on with the lease for the town, and we can put that on the agenda for the next meeting.
I remember in the fiscal policy, we're supposed to do a cost-benefit analysis, a life cost analysis.
Life
Do
cycle.
I have to do it if I'm getting the land for free?
Well, we have to maintain, we have to cut the grass. Although we don't have to pay
I
for
would hope
the
you don't have
grass.
a problem with that.
The cost would be much lower,
Yeah,
perhaps.
Because
Yes,
the life cycle
But-
turns into 1,000
But
years.
what if the owner want part of the land for a what's that, shooting range?
Then we make money,
That's
We got
right.
the bullets and we have our.
then we make money.
Okay.
I mean, we can discuss that tonight if you want, it's up to you. If you want to
No,
report
I think
next
we should
meeting,
make
that's
it
fine
an
too.
agenda item for the next meeting, because,
Okay.
it's kind of the end of the meeting.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe we could, attract some public, attention.
Yeah, just let us know where it stands and what you think, the options are, and then we can, we don't want to do it several times. We
No.
want to do it when the assumptions have been developed to the point that it's feasible.
Because we are seeing a lot of articles about the economy, they have a sign to move up in computer, and then people come to buy land, so this may be the best time if we have some extra money. I think this is important. I don't want the money to go to the consultants and the lawsuit and all this. Rather than some equity, if we don't have. I mean, this is my personal.
Okay.
Public comment.
Okay.
No.
No, not yet. No, we didn't finish. Virginia, you have the floor.
Oh, I
You
was finished, no, I
you
was
did?
finished, just
Okay.
at least with,
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, good meeting. Good job on the whole package, and, we definitely appreciate it. I like the website. We'll see you next September 24th.
We wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, later now or later time, whatever you prefer.
September, we have
Let's just
another
get
meeting
through
for
it.
this
No,
one?
there's a meeting this month, there's another meeting this month. This is last month's meeting.
This is last month.
Oh.
And,
In
like I
2
said, I
weeks?
might as well jump into it now.
In
Okay.
2 weeks?
Our next meeting
In
is,
2 weeks?
our next meeting is scheduled for August 24th. September 24th. However, as you know, but many of you who attended last night's meeting, there's also a public hearing scheduled with the Water Control Board Supervisors. I know many of you are interested. So we have two options. We can cancel this month's meeting and double up and do them in October, or we can still have the meeting, but start it an hour earlier, have it at Town Hall in our offices, and, you know, hopefully it'll be a quick meeting, and then you all can, if you're interested and you want to go, attend the meeting over at the Water Control District. It's your
I'm fine with
call.
doubling up.
Is it so
I think
important
we're-
that we have to have one?
I don't think we have anything that
I know,
critical.
if we have to have one.
No, it was just going to be, the next financial reports, and then anything like you've asked me to talk about.
Just,
like that.
just get us a copy of the financials by email so we can see them and get them out, you know, and then I think we can wait to have combine the meeting.
So we're talking about from 6 o'clock, starting at 6?
Well, I'm hearing two things now.
There was that-
No, because double up,
Well, I'm
She
talking
was saying
about
just
waiting
email
and
double up.
combining the September 24th
Oh.
meeting, just have it in October.
okay.
And then they would send us the financials as soon as they're available.
And then you can send us your
And we can
questions,
send you
comments.
questions and comments or, you know, any of that, and then we'll, you know.
So we'll do
we'll
it in
just have
October.
Two
for both.
financials at one meeting,
Okay.
right?
So moving, and canceling September 21st.
Since we are on the subject, do we want to pick a date on October?
Yes, that's what
What's the fourth one?
Fourth would be
Are you still
21st.
problem
Try to
with
get
Monday?
back to our.
No, I'm finished now, I can attend, barring any family emergencies, I can attend all the meetings. The fourth Monday would be October 21st, October 22nd.
What?
That is correct.
Are we open?
October,
costumes.
October
Twenty-second.
22nd.
22nd.
I've got no problem with that.
Okay.
I would,
So
I
so
have
close
a
to-
problem, I won't be here.
Oh, well. What day will you be here?
I will be here the 15th and 29th.
Can you get the financials done, or,
Pardon me?
can you get the financials by the 15th? So we can have a meeting on the 15th?
Yeah.
You can?
Okay, the 15th works for me.
15?
By the way, just a note, the next day, the 16th, if it continues, there's been talk about a joint workshop between the district board of supervisors and the town council on October 16th.
Well, what's the 24th?
Another one? So 24th is one and 16th
There's,
is the other.
what's the meeting on the 24th that we?
September 24th.
Right, is
September.
what? It's on-
I'm talking about, if you have a meeting on the 15th, I was saying, just making a comment the next day, and the 16th
October, the workshop.
is a talk about a workshop. I mean, it's pretty much, I think that's what's gonna happen. It seems like that's the way they're going, so.
Okay. Any other comment? Sure.
No? Good meeting.
We can meeting from the topic?
No, you're talking about buying land. I think this is a good time to do it. This is the time to do it because, like you said, times will change if it goes up. If you do it now, secure it now, Loxahatchee Grove is going to be here for hopefully 50, 100
years.
Yeah, hundreds of years. And this is the time to do it. And other people will say they can, you know, rent a room somewhere in a corner, but that's something else. But I think the land should be there.
Well, we may get the land donated.
That's
Even
true.
better.
We need to build if we get the land.
Let me just say, I have made general statements to town council during the budget that it was my goal to either attempt to get us land or a building donated.
How big the land we need?
Half an acre.
We have 5 acres at home, I can donate.
But I can tell you, I do have a verbal
Can
representation.
we compete with, we can do a proposal. The people will be old.
I'm not gonna.
I sense like a negotiation.
I pay for old.
In any event, let me just say, I do have a verbal representation by somebody to provide the town with the agreement.
Oh, good.
So that would be very helpful moving forward.
That's good.
I can't tell you.
We need to open up a proposal because other people want to donate too. And we want people to donate 5
No, that'd be great if we could have a proposal. If more people wanted to donate land. That would be the best.
Well,
Wow.
you never know.
That's right.
No, if if my land sitting on Okeechobee and I'm not used by anybody, I would, if I have 10 acres, I would like to donate 2 acres to the town. I mean, so why not?
So he does have a point, you never know in this community, you
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
something.
It's like, you know, you come in and you have some free items and then you buy them because it's lost needed. Okay, no further comments. I don't have any comments. Just thank you for the good job, helping resolve the flooding situation in absence of the administrator from the Water Control District. I think that's very important. Like I said, that I think the Water Control District has established a good system that staff will continue with or without the administrator. It's a fact, so we cannot deny it. And also thank you for your initiative, working with staff and also councilmen as well as the supervisor to get it resolved. Thank you. Let's see, we have comment from, no, one comment from staff? Concluding administrative remarks.
Well, you go first.
What we have is we try to provide you with what we think the council wanted on the budget that they will see, not this week, but next Tuesday. And we try to incorporate, let's see if I can find it. It's not in your run, but you have the latest run on page 3 of 6.
I have page 1 of 21. Are you talking about in this agenda of what?
Well, it should be the same page. Go to your page 3.
Page 3 of 6.
And same 3 of 6 in your page 21.
Okay, page 1, 2, 3, okay.
Do you have other general government, other governmental services on that page 3? You
Yes.
have it on the other one also? That have $75,000 in the column underneath council recommended.
No.
No.
It's easy to get it.
Okay, I've got it too. The council basically has agreed, they made some changes to the original proposed budget, they put some more money in the capital for trails, is it? Trails. And they wanted $75,000 into contingency. So,
Yeah, that was Robert's recommendation.
so we have incorporated, it's not in the run because we did this before that run. We've incorporated the 75,000, we incorporated the other changes, and we changed the capital program to have the trails in there.
That's it.
We originally proposed in this budget to do, I think it was $220,000 to solid waste. We're doing $126,000. It appears as though, depending on Thursday night, the solid waste fee for the residents next year is going to be somewhere in the $291 range instead of $372 it is now. So, unless the budget and the detail, we've got a lot of programs that we think we're gonna implement this next year. We have capital in there to do something with a building or land or management, whatever it is, there's money in there. I know there was some people who leaped or leapt or jumped to the conclusion that 500 in capital was for land. That is not the case. It was in there for whatever is necessary to accomplish the goal of getting set up so that the town has a permanent home. But the other items, trails, that's in there. We put some other items in there.
Right, there's OGM, continued OGM.
Right.
There's also another project for collecting Canal Road, which is OGM as well, that town council would like to accomplish.
Jim's gonna take a little while.
Yeah. and the Traffic signal is still in there for Okeechobee D.
Right?
Let's talk about it. There's 5 projects.
And
Collecting canals is considered a district.
Okay, so they provide their own surveys for all that work. On the
Well,
Well, I wouldn't want the town to get its own survey.
yeah.
Oh, I understand, I don't disagree with that whatsoever.
And I would also hope that the town would see the wisdom of getting the people to agree to deed that piece to the town before it gets OJ. Thereby they avoid assessments and taxes on whatever it is they do.
There was a slight glitch in that whole thing because we've been advised by the district administrator that we really only have the southern 5 feet of what's considered the roadway for collecting canal. So the other 20 feet or whatever comprises the rest of that roadbed is on private property. And we're looking for ways to address that as well, just so that doesn't become a problem anyway, before we commit public funds.
And, well, you know how we did it for the other roads, restricted easements.
And
But
restricted
that's
easement
7
is
years.
fine,
You have to have 7 years before you know, can.
but you still gotta get to court, you gotta get it adjudicated that you want it.
Don't forget
No,
that,
actually, you can file a map amendment for an easement.
I understand that the town needs to own.
well, there's another issue too with that, at least my understanding, and I've been trying to get a copy of the 1925 plat or replat, and I think I've made 4 requests to the district, and I will keep
Oh, I
requesting.
think I'll be able to provide you with that 1925
Yes.
plat, the survey of the
Mhm.
entire,
The
I
entire
can
town.
get that for you.
My understanding of that is that actually collecting canal isn't even shown at the roadway, it's totally a canal.
I'll pick up my copy.
So the attorneys are
tomorrow.
gonna have to look at that as well, because now you and I were talking about using it for a bona fide road, as opposed to
And it's a bona fide
a canal use.
No, welcome to license roads. That's, everything takes a really long time, because we have all these legal issues.
My copy should be available. I requested a copy of the original plat of Loxahatchee Groves. I just haven't picked it up, so I will go pick it up and give you my only copy. You're on the honor system.
I'll make copies. Yeah.
You know, we probably got, I mean, you're talking about the survey from 1925?
1925, I believe it's on.
I probably
That's
do
what-
somewhere.
I'll show you mine.
John would have it, I'm sure. If she's got it, we'll let John off the hook on that one, so we don't have to look through boxes.
I just have a question. The town road on 148 Terrace North, it needs to be cleaned up because the water was not flowing. And Clete mentioned that the town, to call the town and have the town clean that and to put some more fill on it. So my question is, do I bring that up? Do I bring it up here, or do I call in as a resident?
Does the town own that?
Yes, the town owns the road. That's the first
Yeah,
town road.
they dedicate
100%.
Deeded?
Deeded, yes. That's the first town road, official town road.
I say we do it.
Yeah,
I think it's need
Call it
OGB
tomorrow.
too.
call in tomorrow.
An extra,
What we are doing, we've been waiting to see if the state is going to get a disaster declaration. I hear different things, but apparently we're having a hard time meeting the threshold number from FEMA. So what we're doing in the meantime, since it doesn't look like there's gonna be an emergency declaration anytime soon, we've been talking to people that have called us, because there've been a lot of, what's called town road issues. And we're kind of putting a list together so that at some point we may have to do like one project maybe that, addresses all these issues.
it
A
could
lot
be-
of them relate to drainage. Either there's not a culvert, or there's a swale, but the swale doesn't go anywhere. I mean, we're starting to hear all these little things about what people are experiencing.
So you're creating a
Right.
master plan, it
maybe
sounds like?
incorporated in the construction capital improvement
Yes.
plan, CIP.
So I guess that would be part of my role. Considering that my road is not a town road, but a district road.
Yeah, town roads, you should tell the town that, right? I mean, that's the process.
That's what we're doing. We're
So
kind of,
KZ is a town road or is it a district road?
Town.
there's only,
I will request a project light on
I requested you pay, darn it.
Safety.
Is that paved and north, the rest of
Uh, Do we have another item there under reimbursement? I mean, you have C1. Well, is it already done? I don't know, it's on the agenda.
Right, it is, yeah, we didn't hear about a reimbursement.
July 20.
Oh, no, it was in there.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All the reimbursements are listed for everybody.
Okay, good.
Oh, that referred to what's already
Yeah.
included in the package. yes.
Okay, any other closing comment? Seeing none.
Thank you.
In the motion to adjourn?
I make the motion.
I
Motion
second.
by Liz, second by Cheryl. Any other discussion? Seeing none? Favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the kind comments, appreciate it.
Are you gonna get a certificate?
Just as strong, how did y'all?
Water District is giving out certificates.